listen, I may be crazy, but I know what I'm talking about. The camera's too high. Oh my gosh, let's lower it down. Boom. Is that better for y'all? Wait, it's crooked. It's crooked. Oh, can I? Got it. Boom. Guys, listen, I've been getting a lot of comments, to my surprise, about how do the KEF R3s sound on the Soundbase Pro. I'm pretty surprised that you guys want to know that. Do you guys plan on pairing your KEF R3s with the Soundbase Pro? I'm actually very surprised that you guys wanted me to do a video on this. So we're doing a video on this. So I have the KEF R3s back on the desk again, and they are being powered for the first time ever with the SVS Soundbase. And the reason why we're doing this, one, because you guys wanted to see a video on it, but two, the Soundbase actually has really good sound that comes from it. There's no tone controls or whatever. If you haven't seen my full review on the Soundbase, there is a video up there on my channel for you guys. Just type in KEF Guy Soundbase and it'll pop up. So I'm not going to do a full review on it today, but just know there's no tone controls on there. You can't really tailor the sound to your liking necessarily, but it sounds really good how they have it set. And when you think SVS, you probably think subwoofers. That's probably the first thing you think about is subwoofers, and then maybe their prime elevations. I think that's probably what they're most known for, maybe their Ultra series, but they aren't really that bass heavy. There is a prominent presence of bass from the Soundbase, but it's not overwhelming to my surprise. The KEF R3s have a lot of bass out of them. They're actually incredibly impressive with how much bass is in them, and sometimes if you have the wrong settings, you can have a lot of bass that's unwanted coming out of the R3s. So it's a perfect pair to test out the Soundbase with to really see how SVS has EQ'd the Soundbase. And to my liking, it doesn't have too much bass, but it's definitely there. And then you have the option to plug a subwoofer up to this if you'd like to, and I bet you if you do that, it probably automatically crosses over the speakers at 80 or something around there and then sends the rest of it to the sub, just like most powered speakers do. So I haven't tried plugging a sub to this because it sounds so good standalone. I actually love the Soundbase. It's very easy to use. The screen is huge. I love the knobs. It's simplistic. I like it. I would love to see a white version of these because I just like white speakers, and most electronics are black or some, gunmetal gray. A white one would be really cool, especially if they have white speakers like the SVS Prime, I think wireless or something they have that come in white. So I like the sound out of these, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a taste of some sounds out of the Soundbase and the R3s. I do have my stereo mic plugged up, so you should get the best representation on YouTube that we can, but take it with a grain of salt because it is not what I hear in person. So I'm just going to click through some random songs here, and let's take a listen. So the thing about the R3s is that it spends a lot of time down there in the 4 ohm region. They're not the most efficient speakers, and they're 4 ohms. So you're going to want to power these with an amplifier that is ready for the job. Because if not, it's going to cause you a lot of strain issues. Higher volumes may not give you the sound you want. So you're going to want to power them with a good amplifier. And this Soundbase is rated down to 4 ohms. I can't remember what I said the wattage was, but click the link down below, it'll tell you all the specs. But it has no struggles whatsoever powering these power-hungry speakers. And right now we're sitting just under half volume, and it's loud. Now my room's not big. If you guys have seen my channel at least one time, you guys know my room's not big. But still, this thing has no problem powering these speakers at pretty moderate volumes. I don't really listen to music in my house incredibly loud per se, but I do like it at a good volume, and this has no problems giving me that and keeping things under control while it is up there that loud. So kudos to SVS for putting some robust amplifiers inside this Soundbase while keeping the overall package pretty small. There is a remote that goes with this, so I can kind of play with it without touching it, but it's nice to have it on my desk, hands reach. and be able to change my sources and turn the volume up, all that good stuff. So let's just click on something else here. I cannot be drugged, no I won't have a day, not playing this game. I do not feel you, I'm not crossing that day, it would be... So I don't know if it's more credit to the R3s or it's credit to the Soundbase or maybe just the partnering of the two, but one of these two things or both has a really good job at switching character on the fly. And what I mean by that is, the beginning of the video we were listening to a hip-hop type beat and had a lot of synthesized bass. And it gave me all the bass that I could possibly want. And then we switched to the piano, and it became light and fluttery and airy. And then we switched to this pop type of song right here, and it put the voices forward. You hear the beat in the background, but it wasn't distracting. So it's very impressive that not only the R3s can do this, but the Soundbase has enough power and juice into it, and the DACs inside are good enough that you can listen to multiple genres of music, and it, like I said, just switches character. You can have your hip-hop moment if you want to, and if you are having a long day and you want some jazz, you can do that too. So kudos to both KEF and SVS for getting that part right. I'm gonna just click on some other stuff here. I don't actually know any of what these are, but I know that they should show off both the Soundbase and the R3s. I'm gonna have to kind of brag on KEF for a second with their ability to sound so much bigger than they are, and these are huge. These are some heavy and big bookshelf speakers, don't get me wrong, but the sound is tower speaker type of sound. It's massive. Even sitting this close, it's a huge wall of sound, and so kudos to KEF for that. But what made me raise my eyebrow is that a lot of that started off pretty subtle, not very loud, and it had a lot of, you know, probably a harp or something was being strung. I don't know exactly what the instrument was, but it's very subtle, but it was articulate. And it really shows off the ability for the amps to give power to the speaker so that it can move quickly and accurately. And then KEF for being a quick and accurate speaker, that was good. And then as the passage builds and you start getting more instruments, you still hear the separation. Things never really got tangled in the sound. So you could still hear the beginning of the song, and then you started adding instruments, and you didn't lose what was going on. You can tell that it's building, but it wasn't getting, you know, tangled all together. And then the ding, 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 the high ding, ding, ding. That part was pretty cool too. I can't sing that high, but we can play it again. Yeah, the little bells at the very top have a really nice ring to them. So I mean, I'm just impressed with the whole system. I'm probably gonna stop there because this isn't a review video or anything like that necessarily. It's more of like a sound test. Because like I said, I haven't listened to the KEFs on the Soundbase at all until today because you guys have wanted me to. And it sounds really, really, really good. So that makes me hopeful that you can probably pair a lot of speakers with the Soundbase and have a pretty good sound. So if you're looking for something that's going to give you a 2-channel or a 2.1 channel full music setup, this is an option. If you don't want to fork out money for a integrated receiver or integrated stereo receiver or receiver in general, or what else do they have? Some other amplifiers, whatever, this is not a bad option for you. If you don't want to go the powered speakers route, if you're not a fan of powered speakers, this is also a good choice too. So excuse me. I like the way that this sounds. It's really good. I don't really have any complaints for the Soundbase, and I didn't when I did the Soundbase review, other than I do wish you had some sort of tone controls. I know it was a mixed opinion. Some of you guys said you don't need tone controls, it's whatever. Some people say yes, for the money you better give me tone controls. So it's up in the air whether you need them or not, but I think it's better to have them and then not use them than to want them and not have them. So put it in there, SVS, if you make a version 2 or something or whatever. Put some tone controls in there because, I mean, your subwoofers all have apps to control it, blah, 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 blah. It'd be nice to be able to do this with this speaker, especially if you're not going to pair a SVS sub with this. I may not have an EQ app on the sub that I choose, so it'd be nice to have some sort of, small graphic equalizer to control the speakers and maybe the sub and choose my crossover or whatever. With that being said, though, excellent setup. I actually like it, and hopefully I can use the Soundbase on the desk for all of my speaker reviews moving forward. Real quick, let me lean over and grab this. Here's what I was using on the desk pretty much for the last 3 or 4 years. This is the Auralic A50 Plus and the S50 Plus Pro Plus, and this is really good. 50 watts times 2, but it is an amazing amplifier. DAC built inside, has an app, and it has tone controls, and I believe it's 3 times less the price than the Soundbase. But it is awesome. Auralic sent this out to me for a review 3 or 4 years ago, so there are videos of that. But I do prefer the Soundbase Pro over these just because of the extra power and the slight increase of audio quality. With that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. If you have not subscribed already, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and we will see you guys in the next video. KEF Sky out. Peace.
You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.